if you look at it, everybody's bringing in money, but at different levels. A JV might become a full-time job if care is not taken. But a syndication, you can still do a W-2, and if you have the right partners, work alongside with your W-2. That's my own experience. It doesn't mean it's like that for everyone. Based on what you are bringing on the table, that would be what be equated to your equity share. If you look at it, everybody's bringing in money, but at different levels. So regardless, you're bringing in money, you're still putting down some skills. Like this capital guy is still going to be coming, because it's possible that this money is for maybe him and his wife and all that. So he's still going to be reporting to his wife how the money deal is going and all that. So he's still doing some form of investors relations between him and his wife, or him and his brother, whoever owns that money with him and all that. So this is just the summary of a joint venture deal. So in conclusion, you can see that one of them is best suited for bigger deals and the other one is best suited for smaller deals. So if you have a deal that's about $1 million, it might be best for you to get a JV partner to pull it down, or even 2 million, depending on the type of friends you have. If you have friends that can bring in 300,000 without sweat, you can decide to do a $2 million deal as a JV. So it just depends on that. But when it starts getting to maybe 5 million, 10 million, you might need to consider a syndication. Both of them offer flexibility for multifamily real estate, and it just depends on the deal size, your investors' involvement, and your partnership goals. So for me, my partnership goal is both, so I do both. The first thing I look at is, what is the raise? If the raise is about $1 million, it's not good for us to do that as a syndication, because I'm looking at the other expense that will be involved in it and the stress, the ability for me to advertise. I cannot advertise the deal. Can't do so many things. Maybe because it's a 506B, not a 506C. I'm kind of restricted if it comes to that, but I might just need to consider just doing a JV deal. So that is all I have for JV and syndication. So next week, we're going to go into a JV, how you can structure a syndication deal in terms of GP splits. I've seen some people asking questions, how do you structure a GP split and all that? So it depends on so many things, but you must follow the fundamentals. Somebody said, how many JV partners do you have? Okay, so we had this argument previously, and I went ahead to ask a lawyer specialized in this, that typically what is the average number of JV members we should have? And he said, truth be told, there's no actual number, as long as you can prove that everyone has a significant role to play. So for example, if you are 7 and only 3 people are performing or have a role, then you know that you are not following the rules. But if you are, let's say, 7 and 3 of you are, one of you is on the right team, one of you is got the deal from the broker, one of you is the one, you are the middle person between you and the lender, you're following up with the lender, the 3 of you are very active on the acquisition part, and you all maybe have 2 other people, one person is the boots on ground, the other person is the one managing the property management. Those are roles that are very active. And maybe you have 2 other people that said, okay, I want to bring in my money, we need to raise 2 million, I want to bring in 800, the other person says I want to bring in 800 and all that. So those are the rules. So there's no particular amount or number, but you must ensure that everybody has a significant role. But when the group now starts becoming very big, then it's very difficult for you to have a significant role. The more the people you have, the lesser the role becomes. It's just in between. So it's just based on what you can define as a significant role, and it must really be significant. So the lesser you have, the more you can actually define what that role is. But when you are not 12 on it, that might be an issue. You might not be able to give everybody a tangible role to work on. So I hope that clarifies that. Yeah. Does anybody?
All right. Awesome. Bob, you seem to have a question.
I do. In the JV arrangement, at one point, I don't know if things have changed because of the way the environment is now, but at one point, Bibi, did you mention that you were able to get into a JV without any money and then work with partners that did have money? Because on that outline that you had, everybody was putting money in, no matter what. Because I'm in that category, the no money yet. So
my first day was a sweat equity. Truth be told, if I had the money, I'd have put it down, but I didn't have it at all.
Right.
So I put in sweat equity, but the second one I put in a small amount of money because what I did was to transfer my profits because I was making money every month from the rent. We're sharing distributions every month. So instead of taking it, so like for 1 year, I didn't take any distribution. That was like my sacrifice for it. So I left it in the deal. I wasn't profiting from it. So I converted it to my contribution in terms of money, sweat, and also my money contribution. So coming in, I didn't come in with money, but I worked the money. So my profit, I converted it to my contribution afterwards. So that was how I did mine. You don't have to do yours that way. You can, maybe you have the money, maybe you have 50,000 and the person is bringing in 200,000. That is your own contribution towards it. But you must also add something else on the table. But the thing about it is that typically who brings the money, the biggest amount, if you don't know how to negotiate, can decide to take a large chunk of it. So, but over time, I was able to negotiate my what because one, my time is money, my experience is money. So, regardless, even if I'm bringing a small amount of money, if I equate those things, you might not be able to pay me. So, it just depends on what you're bringing on the table, you know. But right now, from that 20%, it was nice 50-50. You understand? But I've been able to review the deal as years start going by, reviewing it based on what I was bringing on the table as times start going on. So, you might need to just start up with a small pie. I learned this thing from Ify. She said the first and second deal is not where you want to make all your money or everything. It's like a sacrifice, but
Correct.
from that you move on. In other words, what she was trying to say is my first and second deal is a sacrifice. I'm going to do a lot of compromising and find myself and know my worth and know the skills I can get. Then afterwards, I can now start putting some value on myself. This is my worth. This is what I think I deserve.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And to me, that sounds easier than syndicating because syndication is such a long process and trying to find people and getting the commitments and everything. But if I could go in as a JV with my skills and then do exactly what you did, it seems to happen quicker. It sounds like to me.
It depends. Sometimes syndication, if you have the right partners with you, let's say everybody is your GP members are very experienced and they're all hands-on, you might not be doing a lot of work because the duty is shared among so many people, or let's say 7 of you. But for that JV deal, the body might just be on you because you are the only one that has the asset management skill. That means you must always be on it. And truth be told, it's a lot of work. I spend more time on my JV deals than my multifamily deals. Serious. Because on my JV deal, I'm the only asset manager on it to date. So I'm spending more time because I don't have any support. Because that's my skill, that's what I'm bringing on the table, you know. So it just depends. Like I said, it just depends on one, the time. A JV might become a full-time job if care is not taken. But it's syndication, you can still do a W-2, and if you have the right partners, work alongside with your W-2 with it. But JV, it just depends. It might become a full-time job if care is not taken. That's my own experience. It doesn't mean it's like that for everyone.
Yeah, understood. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Any questions about syndicating? I have to say there's something similar that can be done in the syndication space, which is the acquisition fee that Bibi talked about. That can also be rolled in to the deal as part of your contribution. So the fact that you went in with nothing initially doesn't mean that you can't contribute anything at all. And then 2 is with JVs, she happened to find someone that was fine with her just bringing in sweat equity. I don't want you to think that everyone out there is fine with you bringing in just sweat equity.
Yeah.
Why do I bring this up? Because raising capital is one of the most important skills in this business. Finding the deal is important and it can be challenging, but so can raising capital. So I don't want you to just hang your hat on, well, I'm just going to find JV partners that are going to accept my, $0 and 100% sweat equity. You might, but
you ruined my whole plan.
No, Bob, I paid the price, really. It was not free. 1 year I didn't take a dime. So that might not be a good strategy if that's what you're depending on. So you just busted this bubble.
I can see the look on his face.
Yeah,
okay.
Thanks a lot.
On that note, guys, this is where we wrap up. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just something for you to think about, Bob. But you're out there. Keep putting it out there, the kind of deals you're looking for, the kind of skill set that you bring, and through networking, who knows? you can find your own capital partner that's willing to just accept sweat equity. Questions, comments? Daryl, was your question satisfactorily answered?
Absolutely. Above
Awesome.
and beyond. So I always appreciate you both for doing this.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so in conclusion, there are many ways to get into a multifamily space. So don't say I don't have money. If you don't have money, go look for that person that doesn't have the time, but they have the money. And start up with maybe a 10 units, and maybe you bring in 10,000 and it's bringing in the 90,000. You might not make a lot, but as time goes on, you start making money. So consider that there's no room for, I don't have money, so I can't start my journey. You can actually start, because we all started that way. We didn't have that money, but we are doing it now.
Amazing. All right.